Okay, so make sure you get your date, your page number, your title, and your learning target. We're going to talk about how to solve an exponential equation. So before we talk about how to solve an exponential equation, we need to talk about what is an exponential equation and what does it look like. So an exponential equation has a variable in the exponent. So for example, 3 times 2 to the x minus 3 power plus 5 equals 6. The x is in the exponent, so that's what makes it an exponential equation. And whenever you're solving an equation, you're solving for the variable or solving for x in this case. So whenever I'm talking about an exponential equation, I'm talking about there's a variable in the exponent. So there's two different ways to solve them. Whenever I have two exponentials, so two terms where the x is in the exponent, or the variable is in the exponent like this, then they need to have the same base. This doesn't work out very often to nice pretty whole numbers, but that's how you would do it. Otherwise, if I have one exponential, like up here, you're going to try to isolate it to try to get this term right here by itself, and then rewrite it, find the inverse or the log of it, and then solve for x from there. So method one is talking about like making them have the same base. Again, I've got two exponentials, so I want these two numbers to have the same base. So I want you to think about what number could be a base for the number 4 and the number 8. And the answer to that question is 2, because 2 squared is 4, and 2 to the third is 8. So the base for both of those numbers would be 2. So for example, instead of writing a 4, I could rewrite that as 2 to the second power. And that's how I would rewrite the 4. And then I had a 3x up here. So I haven't changed the equation. Instead of a 4, I put 2 to the second power, which is the same thing, times 3x. And then same idea here. Instead of an 8, I'm going to put a 2 to the third power. And then also in that exponent was an x plus 1. So again, I haven't changed the problem because 2 to the third power is 8 and 2 to the second power is 4. So now from here, if 2 to this power is equal to 2 to this power, then that means that these two things have to be equal. So now I can solve my equation saying that 2 times 3x is equal to 3 times x plus 1. And I can solve for x that way. Do this side, 2 times 3x is 6x. Distribute here, and I get 3x plus 3. Solve to get x by itself. And x is 1. So again, when I have one equation, I want to get the exponential part by itself. So in this case, it is by itself. And then once I've isolated it and I get something like this, to where the base and the exponent is by itself, then I can rewrite it, find the inverse, or find the log of it, and then solve for x that way. So if I was to rewrite this from exponential to log, remember you make the L. So I have log base 2 of 7 equals x. Well, now my calculator will tell me what log base 2 of 7 is when I type that in. Which means x is equal to 2.807. I usually go out 3 places, or is about equal to x.